What is the first thing you notice when you meet someone for the first time? Is it their eyes? Is it their nose? Is it their teeth? Or is it their skin? For me, it was their skin for a very long time because I struggled with acne since the age of 14 and I tried so many doctors, so many tips and diets, and nothing worked for me, only one thing, and that's what I want to share with you today in this video. It all started when I hit puberty, and that's when I started getting some acne here and there. At first it was okay. I mainly started getting them in my forehead and mainly in like the side of my face and my neck and a lot in my back. And other than it being not very well aesthetically pleasing, but also it was hurting me. It was kind of painful to have acne, especially in the back. I feel like this is something a bit underrated when it comes to acne. Like people don't treat it only because you look better without it, but also because it genuinely hurts when it's inflamed. And I want to talk about the causes of acne here. So basically, the excess oil production and dead skin cells clog the pores on our faces. The environment allows bacteria to thrive, leading to inflammation and various forms of acne like blackheads, whiteheads, and our enemies, pimples. Hormonal fluctuations. So hormones, especially during puberty, and that's when most people start to notice acne on their faces, or menstruation and pregnancy can increase oil production. Stress also plays a huge role by affecting those hormones imbalance and potentially worsening acne. Genetic and lifestyle. If your family has a history of acne, you might be more prone to it. Additionally, certain diets that are mainly like fats and sugar, and also stress levels can influence acne severity. Though the impact varies, of course, between different people, we still don't really understand the correlation between diet and acne. Like, we know there is by, trial and error, and you see when you eat something like chocolate or something fat and dairy, you most likely get acne or like some pimples, but we don't really understand how it works exactly. So now you have an idea on how this works and why do we get acne on our faces. This is a very brief idea. It's actually much deeper than that, and the causes are much more, like, there is more than that, but main reason, excess of oil. I have a very oily skin, and also my hair gets really oily super fast. Like, I swear to you, sometimes I shower, like the next 2 days, it's done. I have oily hair and I need to shower again. So it was really a struggle growing up. Now, other than the amount of skincare, they sell cleansers, hydration, sunscreen. There's too many options. I'm gonna tell you that these are not gonna treat your acne. They will help, but they're not gonna treat it forever, and you probably have to use them for the rest of your life, and I doubt they're gonna treat it in the end of the day. Especially if it's moderate to severe acne, it's not gonna work. Skincare is just not it, because skincare is just complementary. It's just gonna help make the acne less, but it's not gonna cure the acne. The acne treatment options are 4: topical agents, systemic antibiotics, hormonal agents, and isotretinoin, which is the medication that worked for me. And it's the last resort, actually. This is the last thing that the dermatologist will prescribe to you, and only when everything else fails. And that's what happened. Now, I went to the dermatologist for the first time and he gave me topical agents. And after that, he gave me topical, and it didn't work. So then he prescribed me topical agents plus systemic antibiotics. And that started working, but then I developed an allergy and I had to stop. And then I just kind of gave up on acne. I was like, it's fine, it doesn't bother me that much. It did, but I just was like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it bothered me, but not to the point where I was like, oh my god, I can't leave the house, oh my god, I can't show up my face. It was okay. I mean, I have acne, what? It's okay, it's fine, it's just acne. I tried my best to get rid of it, it didn't work. But finally, in 2021, I was like, I'm done with this, especially that what I was doing, which is content creation and being an esport talent, it requires you to be in front of the camera a lot, and basically your face is your image, and of course it's not the only thing that matters, but it's a big deal. Looking good is important in this kind of jobs, and I had to get rid of my acne. So that was one of the motivating things that pushed me to go see a dermatologist one last time. And that's when she prescribed to me isotretinoin, which is Accutane. And that is the miracle medication, I would say, because it truly got rid of my acne. And the results were in like after 7 months. Now I want to talk to you about this isotretinoin, because you have to understand it is a very hardcore medication. It is not like taking paracetamol for your headache. It is long and heavy and depressing. By the way, you can take this, like, I hope you guys don't go right now to the pharmacies and buy it, because you can't do that. You need actually to see a dermatologist so they can see your type of acne, so they can give you some recommendations, and then worst case scenario they will give you Accutane, and they might not give you Accutane at all, because maybe you shouldn't take it ever in your life because it has so many side effects. And again, as I told you, it is a hardcore medication, so I don't advise anyone to take it other than if you genuinely need it to get rid of your acne. Now, why did I say that? Because I will give you a list of the side effects, and just the simplest one, just like during the treatment that everyone goes through this, is dry everything. Dry skin, dry lips, dry eyes. And someone who spends a lot of time in front of their computer having dry eyes isn't the greatest, because you need to hydrate them every single like hour or 2 hours, and your lips completely cracked. You need to put moisturizer all the time, and sometimes it's not enough, especially like the first 3 months. Your lips will always be crooked, and you need to fix them. Yeah. What else? There were so many side effects. This has been 2 years ago, so I don't remember a lot, but there were a lot of side effects. And I just discovered one side effect today that I hope I didn't get this issue because of Accutane, but Accutane can cause ingrown toenail. I don't know the relationship between these two, but it can. I finished my treatment a while ago, and I struggled with ingrown toenail like last year, so I'm not sure if it's because of it. I don't think so, but keep that in mind. It can cause it, and it can cause a lot of things. The worst thing that Accutane can cause is death. How is that? Because it has something to do with mental health and depression, and Accutane can cause severe depression, especially if someone is already not okay mentally. You shouldn't take Accutane in the first place if you're not mentally healthy. So the first thing before you start Accutane, you need to get some blood tests to see if your liver is okay, because this is a medication that affects that, and also your I forgot the name in English, but in French, les triglycérides. I will put the translation. It's probably anyways, triglyceride, just to be sure you're okay. So you do this blood test before you start the treatment, then you start the treatment, and then after 2 weeks you do it again, and then after 2 months you do it again, just to be sure like everything is okay and your body is accepting, you know, the treatment, and it's not affecting him that much. So Accutane, I started with 20 milligrams. That's the first dosage I took. My face, the first 1 month to 2 months. 2 months was the worst, because then I got a huge breakout. So that's how the medication works. Like, you will take it, it will make your acne worse for a bit, but you have to trust the process and it will get better, and that's what happened. And then I went to 30 milligrams. Now 30 milligrams, my skin was so dry, and I had to drink water all the time. It was getting really hard, but I got used to it. And then I got to 40 milligrams, and when she prescribed to me 40 milligrams is when everything hit the fan. I took it for 2 weeks, I remember, and those were the most depressing 2 weeks of my life. I just didn't want to do anything. I was feeling depressed. I didn't want to do anything. I felt so bad for just existing. Like, what is happening? I have zero motivation. I didn't get out of my bed, barely. I remember it was my cousin's birthday, and I just went with them, and I was like I'm so done. And then I remembered I was taking Accutane. It's probably the reason why I was feeling so depressed. And when I went to the doctor, she told me, of course, like, go back to 30. I went back to 30, and I was completely okay. Like, once I went back to 30, it's like, whoa, what was that? And so that's why I told you, if you have some mental issues or problems happening, you're living in a very stressful environment, don't take Accutane. By the way, the reason I took 40 also, you have to understand, like, the dosage you will take of Accutane has to do with your weight. And I was 49 or 48, and I wanted to get, like, down with Accutane as soon as possible, like in 6 months. So that's why I took 40 milligrams. And I ended up going to 30, and it took around like 7 months and a half for me to finish the treatment. And after those 7 months and a half, my skin was truly amazing. And not only that, I also want to talk about my hair during Accutane. My hair, because I told you I struggled a lot with oily hair, was beautiful. I didn't have to wash it at all because my hair just didn't get oily. It just didn't. Can you imagine a world where your hair just does not get oily ever? Yeah, that was the dream. It was really good. So that's my journey with Accutane. Now, do I recommend you take Accutane? Again, as I mentioned, you have to see your dermatologist. They're the only one who's gonna know if you should or not. And Accutane is the last resort treatment. Will I do this again? Yes. Because now looking at my skin, you know, I feel great. I'm like, wow, this is really good. I'm really happy with the state of my skin. And I should moisturize my skin often. I don't. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I don't do anything right now for my face. Nothing. Nada. I should go back to my routine where I used to cleanse, moisturize, and use sunscreen because this is not gonna last like this for a while if I don't do any skincare. I feel it. I feel my face is dry, to be honest. So I do need to moisturize it, and you should as well. If you have any questions when it comes to this medication, please let me know. I'd love to help you with your journey, especially if you just started your journey and you wanna, you know, you have some questions, or you just started the treatment and you don't know if your feeling is normal or not. Feel free to ask me in the comments, and I really hope a glowing skin for you in this 2024, and